going on, Jerome's? Beautiful Thursday. Happy Thirsty Thursday out there to those who celebrate. It's time for another Vikings news dump. So, of course, Texans. 2-0 Vikings versus the 2-0 Texans. Sunday, historic U.S. Bank Stadium. Winner goes home and has a nice night of sleep in their beds. I don't know. Loser falls to 2-1, but still pretty good team. Yeah, but either way, early clash of two of the best in their respective conferences. And, of course, all the storylines, you want them back and forth. Of course, the Vikings, 5 former Vikings potentially coming into U.S. Bank Stadium. Whoa. Danielle Hunter, Stephon Diggs, Chris Boyd, Cam Akers at running back, and the Texans just signed Irv Smith Jr. to the practice squad after they placed Brevin Jordan. That's just the U being the U on injured reserve. Now, here's the thing, it's a revenge game, sure, but, I mean, most of these guys still have friends on the team. Most. Yeah. And I have no ill will towards any one of these players, right? We occasionally bring up Diggs because Diggs can't stop talking about Minnesota. It just sort of is what it is. But I absolutely wish the best for Danielle Hunter, Chris Boyd. Chris Boyd is low-key one of the funniest Vikings in team history. I will stand by that. Cam Akers, he was reportedly going to sign here, but then decided to sign with the Texans, and he's getting a huge opportunity there. Could be RB1 with Mixon and Pierce nursing injuries. So, I mean, respect. And I want all these guys to do well, just not on Sunday. That's it, man. Other direction. So, a 3 on defense, all signed this offseason. John Grenard, Blake Cashman outside. How about that? As well as Shaq Griffin was on the Texans for like 2 seconds. Also, I erroneously had said that Jihad Ward, Hadi, had played on the Texans too. He has not. He literally has played for every single other team in the league, though. That's where I was confused. But, a couple three key pieces, 3 starters on the Vikings defense were on the Texans last year. So they know D'Amico Ryans, but D'Amico Ryans also knows them. So should be a lot of fun there either way. Someone who's probably not going to be suiting up getting out there on Sunday is Jordan Addison, as he still works back from that high right ankle sprain after he just got over that high left ankle sprain. Guessing strib. Kevin O'Connell, blah, 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 Jefferson. So Jefferson's going to be fine. Right. He's going to have to deal with the bruise, but they'll be fine. Jordan Addison is still in that day-to-day world. Aren't we all? Going through treatment on his ankle. So O'Connell sounded upbeat about Jefferson, not so much about Addison, and I don't think that Addison is going to be making it back for Sunday. But also at this point, if they were going to put him on IR, they would have done it before the Niners game. So I do think that maybe there's a chance that he returns week 4 against the Packers, definitely week 5 against the Jets, or maybe they just give him the full stretch. It can be tough because you put a player on IR, especially with a injury that can be sort of touchy, like ankle sprains, especially high ankle sprains, and maybe he feels better after 2 weeks, but you still have to wait 2 more weeks. So I understand why the Vikings kept their options open at this point. But hopefully Addison will be back soon, although Jalen Speedy Naylor looking really damn good, and he needs to stay involved once Addison gets back. Also, speaking of injuries, Kevin Seifert, ESPN, who's not Carl Gerbschmidt. As it turns out, Vikings tight end Nick Muse, your company's computer guy, recovered Sunday's onside kick with a fractured hand. He went on short-term IR today. Myles Gaskin replaced him on the 53, and that's a football guy thing, man. Like, Nick Muse, I'll take that back about Chris Boyd. Nick Muse might be one of the funniest Vikings in team history. Like, also, Nick Muse, if you see like him and his teammates' interaction on like the Vikings videos or social media, he's the team's little brother. It's kind of awesome like that. He's a funny ass dude, tough ass football player, rising up, growing and showing too, and just tough as nails. I mean, a fractured hand, just like, hey, my hand is broke, but I don't care. I'm recovering this kick and sealing this game for us. That's what we do. That's right, man. Speaking of Justin Jefferson, so after a sort of pedestrian week 1 game against the Giants, if you can call it that, he exploded for 133 yards receiving, which I feel like is easy to do when you catch a 97-yard touchdown. But he's top 5 in the league right now at receiving yards. JJ2K. Sorry, Jets 2K is still in play here, right? And Nico Collins, Godwin, Jameson, Neighbors all had monster games throughout the first 2 weeks. But Jefferson, Steady Eddie, the career receiving yards per game leader. Coming into the season, it was 98.3. So that'd be down a little bit. He's off pace. the hell, man. But I would love if Jefferson retired at the end of his very long, illustrious first ballot Hall of Fame career, averaging over 100 yards a game. That would be so cool. That'd be awesome, man. I love that. But big time test on Sunday as the Texans. Derek Stingley Jr. is one of the best young corners in the game. And it's LSU versus LSU, man. A Bayou battle. Two LSU Tiger alums getting after it. So it's going to be good. It's going to be an absolute showdown on Sunday. Also, speaking on Sunday, next. Oh, did we miss that? Oh, there we go. All right, so Aaron Jones. So he's cribbing the Lambeau leap from his days on the wrong side of the river. Jumped into the stands against the Giants, and we would workshop various names. The Viking Vert, the Viking Vault, the Hennepin Hop. I mean, there's a lot of good ones out there. But Aaron Jones has officially christened it. It is decided. Vikes fan page. Aaron Jones says instead of the Lambeau leap, it's now the Bank Vault in Minnesota, which it's a play on words to get it, because vault means like giant safe, like in a bank, and they call it U.S. Bank. Yeah. And vault is also a jump. The bank is open on Sundays. There you go. Hey, you ever play a horse with like someone old? And old people always have a good bank shot. And they're always like, ho, 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 bank's open on Sundays. It's Tuesday, man. Yeah. But either way, like Aaron Jones, producer Allie actually called this one. Like we were discussing nicknames for the jump, and she said the Bank Vault, and nailed it. That is a producer Allie impression. Something that's very impressive this season so far is Patrick Jones. Pat Jones. He is second in the league, or tied for second in the league with sacks, with the emerging Keon White. Looking really damn good for the Patriots, man. But Hutchinson, of course, whatever. Like, he had a monster game against a backup caliber tackle, whatever. Like a scoreboard, and again, hey, the Lions are a Cooper Kupp third down drop away from being 0-2 at home. So strike up the parade. See if Dan Campbell can motivate this team out of this. But Jones 2 sacks in 2 games, 2-2, and he's been impressive, man. Plus, Flores has lauded PJ2's being stout against the run, setting the edge, and making some plays in the run game. Not just hoovering up sacks, because as we said, like, there's a lot of puck luck when it comes to sacks, and sometimes you're just right place, right time. Sometimes you absolutely make it happen. And Jones, I mean, he's doing all the above, right? So he's doing the damn thing in a contract year, and I respect it. So let's trade him. Nah, we'll keep him. Also, along that defensive line, so Vikings are second in the league in total team pressures via PFF with 49, trailing only the Seattle Seahawks with 50. That's going to be a good game late in the season, too. Vikings leading the NFL in sacks, 11, and second in pressures/pressure rate, while only blitzing on 12.9% of snaps. Vikings led the NFL in blitz rate, 51.5% last season. The pass rush is getting more efficient and should scare the ish out of the league, and that's absolutely true. And Flores disguising coverages, having guys crowd the line of scrimmage and bailing out. The offensive line and the quarterback don't know which 4 are rushing, and that's a major part of it too. So it's gorgeous what's going on so far. And this defense, given its versatility and its depth, it's going to be a lot of fun things going forward. Also, a lot of fun things. Speaking of those versatile defense pieces, Josh Metellus. So a Michigan fan account put this out. On this date in 2020, Josh Metellus was signed to the Minnesota Vikings active roster. So Metellus came in as a 6th-round pick out of Michigan in 2020. Back in that day. Initially was on the practice squad, got called up to the active roster. It hasn't left, and has worked his way up from practice squad to special teams guy to one of the most versatile defensive pieces in the National Football League, and I love and adore him. So he quote tweeted this and said, "Hope I'm never anywhere else." Purple heart emoji. All right, and we want to keep him long term. And what's interesting is that he's already signed an extension. Before last season, he signed a 2-year, $8 million extension. Now, obviously, in hindsight, that's a bargain, right? But remember, before last year, before Flores really got his mitts on him, Matelis was a standout special teamer and a backup safety. And in terms of those two things, like $4 million a year is pretty good. But I mean, Matelis, that deal is going to have to be freshened up, right? So he's in the first year of that 2-year extension, and yeah, Metellus has definitely earned himself some cash. Same thing with Cameron Beasley, Bynum, and yeah, so some guys are playing well, and they're going to have to get paid, or the Vikings are going to have to start making some decisions. But hopefully, Josh Metellus is in purple long time. Speaking of purple long time, so J.J. McCarthy. You remember him? It's crazy. So you have the future franchise quarterback, top 10 pick, highest drafted quarterback in team history, and you're just thinking, he's the guy. He's the future. Off-season, OTAs, mini camp, first preseason game, training camp. I mean, everything was gorgeous, man. But now this is what happens. Like, the season comes fast and furious and week after week. And I'll be honest, first 2 weeks, I haven't really thought about J.J. McCarthy. Well, I have thought about it in the context of whatever happens with Darnold, whether he's back or not. I mean, McCarthy having O'Connell, and if McCown sticks around, Wes Phillips, this amazing coaching staff and infrastructure, all this talent, like, compare it to what's happening in Chicago. Compare it to the Garbaggio of the Patriots. That's why they're not starting Drake May. Compare it to whatever in Washington. Compare it to Bo Nix in Denver. And you see why some of these highly drafted quarterbacks fail, because the team is garbage. The head coach is on the verge of being fired. So same thing with the GM. And J.J. McCarthy's walking into a beautiful situation. And frankly, like we said with Darnold, if J.J. McCarthy can't succeed here, he's not going to succeed anywhere, right? And what makes me feel good about McCarthy is he's a guy that's going to work his ass off. He's going to be high character. He's going to lead by example. He's going to walk the line. He's going to do all those things, right? He's got all the intangibles in the world. So if J.J. McCarthy doesn't work out, that means he's not good enough. And frankly, as a fan, I'm okay with that, because so many players bust, not because of talent, sometimes because of coaching or work ethic, or they're not prepared for the life, and they become more concerned about the money than the game. And McCarthy, like, you're never going to have to worry about those things. Like, if he doesn't work out, it means he's not good enough, right? And at the end of the day, that's fine. On to the next. But I think that J.J. McCarthy is certainly going to be good enough, man. It's going to be fantastic. Is that it? We go Sopranos, fade to black. Oh, it's James Gandolfini's birthday yesterday. That could be that was. Anyways, that is it. Vikings news done for this beautiful Thursday. You guys are the best. You know what to do. Skol.